Hi, I'm Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. Good morning. I'm walking over here today to the other side of my property to test the pH in my soil. I bought a pH tester from Johnny's a couple years ago, and I think I really need to get it out and use it right now. I noticed in the fall and in the spring of 2021 that my plants just weren't very hardy. They weren't doing as good as they did in 2020. A lot of the green beans were coming up, and I was even getting some product off of it, but they just didn't thrive the way they had the year before. So I'm going to test my soil, and I'm going to see if there's anything going on. I'm thinking it might be low and that I need to lime my soil, and if so, I need to get on that now. I want to do that a couple of months before I plant. I don't want to be doing it the week or so before I plant. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. I'm going to test 5 spots on each garden of my 3 gardens. I'm not going to do my high tunnel because I'm still hauling a lot of dirt in there and the soil isn't really stabilized in there yet. But I'm going to test it on my other 3 gardens and see what I come up with. This is my soil tester that I got from Johnny's that'll test the pH in your soil. It's a pretty simple little contraption. You do need to keep this bottom part really clean. They send some little plastic film things with it to keep it clean. But normally I just bring an extra little t-shirt or something out here with me to where I can really wipe the dirt and any type of grease off the bottom of it. But you stick it into your soil, hopefully enough to get up here to the top of this silver thing to cover that. I push the little button and you count for 3 minutes. You can use your phone or whatever to count for you. So it can get kind of boring because you don't just do it once in each garden. You do it about 5 times in each garden or more depending on the size of your garden. You really want to get soil test pH done from all different areas of your garden because it can vary. So it can get a little boring, but it's just something you have to do, and I need to know if I need to lime my soil. So that's what I'm going to do today. You never really realize how long 3 minutes can be. It's a really long time when you think about it. You wait, and 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 wait some more, and some more. And then you just really, really wish it was over. Finally, you can pick up the meter and go on to the next spot. I took the pH level from 5 spots in Richard's garden. I tested 5 spots on my upper garden, my cottage garden as I call it, and 5 spots on my lower garden. I even tested my sugar kettle where I have my garlic growing. And by the way, my garlic just seems to be thriving. Okay, here's the results of my pH test that I did this morning. From Richard's garden, the garden that I have across my beach, I had anywhere from 5.6 to 6.3. I really had all different readings all around that garden. So, and it was funny because the end where I'm putting the horse manure and things like that, I know that's getting real fertile and everything, but that end of my garden is the lowest pH, and I need to bring that up. The other end of my garden is average, 6.0 to 6.3. And then my upper garden, which is new, I threw a couple little things at one end of that garden last year, but part of it is brand new, tilled up soil, so it's new, but it was the worst. It has basically 5.6, 5.7 to 5.8. That's the highest reading was 5.8. So I definitely need to lime that and lime it really good because that is very low pH. Your basic green beans and things like that need like 6.5 to 6.8, things like that. So really, that doesn't bode well for me being able to grow green beans and my pole beans really well in that soil. They can grow. The plants are hardy. I mean, they can do without us sometimes, but if I could give them some better pH and really bring that pH up, it would help so much. My lower garden, the lowest one was 5.8. I did have one 6.6 and one 6.8. So The 6.6 and 6.8 is really, really good. So that's great. The 5.8 area, definitely need to bring up. Had a little 6.1 out there. That's still pretty low. So I need to bring those up. So what I did this morning tells me things I need to do to make my garden better. Just, if it's just a matter of some lime on your garden, that's not bad. That's a blessing that's all you need to do. Lime is not that expensive. And as I show in a minute, I had already bought some. So I'm good to go on it. I just need to get it put out there, get it worked into the top couple inches of my soil, and then let it sit. It's something that you need to do a little ahead of time, so that's why I'm worrying about it here in December. You can't afford to worry about this right in the spring, right before you plant. So I'm worrying about it now, and it'll get fixed. It'll get done and taken care of, and hopefully I'll have some really good plants come spring. In anticipation of my pH being low, which I had a feeling it was because my plants just weren't thriving and they should have been. But in anticipation of that, I had already purchased 2 big 50-pound bags of hydrated calcium lime. They make hydrated magnesium lime, but that's not what I bought, and I'm kind of glad because you really have to know your magnesium levels pretty accurately before you put magnesium lime on your garden. So I chose the calcium lime. I also have a little bag of pelletized lime that I just picked up for $5, I think, at the Circle T Feed and Seed in Franklinton. So between all of that, I think I have enough to spread it on my gardens. I'm probably going to go ahead and do that today because time is of essence to me. We had some dreary weather this weekend, but it's clearing up right now, and they say the rest of this week is going to be clear. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put it down now because I don't know what the weather will do within a week, and then it's liable to get really cold and yuck, and I can't get my tractor out there on it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, you know how you want to just get something done? You just have a plan, you've done your due diligence, and you just want to get it done, and nothing seems to go right. That's where I'm at today. I went out this morning and did the pH test on my soil, on all my gardens. Check, got it done. I made a plan. I wanted to put lime on all my gardens. No problem. I have a little attachment that goes on our tractor that I can fill with the lime and run over the garden with the tractor, and it'll disperse it all over. It's a little cedar implement that I can use. But I go to get it out just a minute ago, and one of the wheels is locked up. So I say, no problem. I've got a manual one that I can use, and I can just pull it and walk it across the gardens and disperse it and get it on my gardens that way. But of course, its wheel and mechanism is locked up. So luckily, my husband has a friend that kind of knows things about all this, so I called him and I said, what are the odds that both of my cedar implements have locked up wheels? You know, is that normal? Is there something I'm supposed to be pushing or pulling on or unlocking that I'm not doing? I said, just, can you help me out with it? And he said, probably they've been sitting up too long, and the wheels and the mechanism that spins, that disperses your seed or whatever you're doing, your fertilizer, he said it's probably rusted and locked up, and it's attached to one of your wheels. He said, so that's why one of your wheels is working and the other one's locked up. It's probably the one that's attached to the mechanism. And he said, something in there's rusted. You need to get your WD-40 out and spray it all over the mechanism, all over the wheel, the axle, you know, that area. Anything that moves, spray it. And he said, you may have to get it going a little bit and then spray it some more, you know. So I said, no problem. I've got WD-40, no problem. Well, then I looked and I looked and I looked, and I can't find it. So that's where I'm at right now. I have no WD-40, and I have 2 cedar spreaders that are locked up. So I need to go to the store and get WD-40, but I've also realized in the process of this that I probably don't have near enough lime. I have 2 bags of lime, 50 pounds each, which equals 100 pounds. But while I was talking to my husband's friend, he said that the recommendation is to put about a ton on each acre of land. Well, a ton is 2,000 pounds. I got to figuring I have about 10,000 square feet of gardens. So an acre, this is why I'm so tired today. An acre is 43,000 some odd feet. So if I have 10,000, just say I have a quarter of an acre. I'm just estimating roughly. So if I have a quarter of an acre of land, I need a quarter of 2,000 pounds, which is 500 pounds. So I have 100 pounds. So I really need a good bit more lime, which makes sense. I don't necessarily have to put it. I've been doing some research because I don't want to just run to the store and buy things I don't have to have. So I have my garden schematic pretty much worked out. It's subject to change. I mean, everybody's is as circumstances change between now and the spring, but I kind of have it worked out. So I was looking at what I'm planting where, and, you know, and I was looking at the pH measurements in those parts of the garden and all. And I don't think I really have to break my back to put lime in the areas where I'm putting corn. Now, corn can grow anywhere from a 7, which is considered neutral pH, down. It's not real picky sometimes, and I have had pretty good luck growing corn, so I don't think my corn, you know, is going to do horrible in my soil. So I don't necessarily think I need the same ratio of 1 ton to every square inch of my gardens, is what I'm saying. I'm having corn in 3 different spots, so, you know, I could get by with not doing as much there. And one of the spots that I'm putting my candy corn is a good pH, so I really don't even need to put lime there. So I'm trying to think about all this because, I mean, you know, you just don't want to be doling out money all the time to stores for things you don't need. So I'm trying to figure all that out, and what I decided is at least I'm going to go get 3 more bags. I feel like I do need 3 more bags of lime. So since I can't find my WD-40, I'm going to go get 3 more bags of lime and the WD-40 at the hardware store. Of course, I'm going to have to go 20 miles away to get all this, so it's not something you want to just do on a whim. You want to think about it. I need to get my husband ready, and we need to go. So that's where I'm at today. Not going to show me spreading a lot of lime because that would probably be, you know, just taping it even tomorrow, so I'm not going to do that. But that's the plan. I'm going to get more lime. I'm going to WD-40 these spreaders. I'm going to see if they'll start turning and working. If they don't start turning and working, then I will just be out there, you know, with, you know, Mutt and Jeff doing the spreading with a cup out of a big pail or something that I can bring along with me. I do have a Hoss Tools thing that you strap around your back, and it's got a big bucket in the front. It's for harvesting vegetables, but I could fill it with lime if I needed to, and put me a little mask on and go out there and disperse it by hand. That will take a while. I try to guard my time because I don't always have 5 hours to come out and do something, but that's the plan. It's going to get done. So I think right now I may just take a little break. It's been a frustrating morning, and I might just go harvest my carrots and maybe even just do my liming tomorrow. Thank you. I decided to go ahead and harvest my carrots. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, I was just kind of working off a general assumption that carrots need 70 to 80 days. I really didn't check my varieties to see exactly how many days these needed. But I got the information out yesterday, and I realized that 3 of the ones I planted in this wheelbarrow are 65 to 70 day carrots. So right now, I started thinking about the date I planted them and everything, and we're at 76 days. So I feel like I can go ahead and harvest these just fine. They germinated well, they've been growing fine. There hasn't been anything that really slowed them down that I know of. So I feel like I can go ahead and just harvest them. I don't think they're gonna get any bigger or any longer or anything right now. I know that carrots can hold in the ground for a long time, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and see what I have so that I can do something with them. I'm only gonna get busier here shortly. I realized that this week coming up is going to be very, very busy. We've got appointments, we've got an anniversary, we've got places we need to be, I've got shopping that I need to get done. So I wasn't going to really be able to even do this video or think about it this week. And then next week we have a birthday, and next thing you know, it's just like Christmas Eve, and I've got things to cook, things to think about, and places to be. We've got 2 or 3 gatherings. So I just decided I'm going to go ahead and do them now. But one of the varieties that's in here, I planted 4. I planted them in 4 different specific sections in this wheelbarrow just to try out seeds I had. But I realized that one of the varieties that I have is an 85 to 90 day carrot. So I'm going to harvest lightly around it because it hasn't reached its full days yet. So I'm going to just harvest the ones that I can see that need harvesting. I'll leave the other ones in the ground. I'm not just going to pull them up in bunches or anything like that. I'm just going to look at each one as I go. And what I'll do is I'll just leave the St. Valerie carrots in there and try not to harvest them or anything. Might be kind of hard. It gets a little confusing sometimes, but I did try to put them in here in specific sections, and I don't think anything happened to move them around or anything like that. So I'm going to harvest the muscad first. Then I will harvest the Long Rouge Sank carrots. Both of those are from Baker Creek. Then I'll look at the St. Valerie, but I don't know if I'll take any out or not. And then I will go on to the Cosmic Purples at the other end, which also were from Baker Creek. I think everything was from Baker Creek except the St. Valerie carrots, which I got from Annie's Seeds. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And brought 3 different baskets out because when I harvest things, I kind of like to know, how productive each one was. So I'm going to put each thing in a different basket, and then we'll see how it comes out. Cosmic Purple, Muscad carrots, Long Rouge Song. I'm very thankful for my harvest.